Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion, it's your fella again, Straussman the GG. Yo, welcome to another video. Topic of the day, baby. Game Awards come and gone. Game Awards come and gone, and we had a big reveal from Microsoft in that conference. So, we're not talking Game Awards specifically, but we're talking about is it time for Microsoft to step up? Like, do they got to step up right now? And I think it's a fair question. This is not like a hit piece or anything on Microsoft or anything. I love Microsoft a lot, actually. Game Pass is a brilliant effing idea. But what if the other two companies decide to do that, though? What if Nintendo and Sony decide? I think Jim Ryan already says he's thinking of that they're going to have something similar. Obviously, they're not going to, let's be real here, they ain't going to put God of War, Ragnarok, or Horizon Forbidden West or anything like that on a Sony type Game Pass day one. And why should they? They're making a shit ton of money. A lot of these games are getting nominated for Game of the Year. Why would you put those day one? Microsoft's on a different sense, though. I feel like they got to do a lot of that stuff because, they struggled. You think they would be putting, Halo and Gears and all these games day one on Game Pass if it wasn't for them being kind of critically panned or not universally liked? I shouldn't say that because Gears 5 wasn't critically panned. It was actually a very solid game. Same thing with Gears 4. Both very solid Gears games, but just not as good as the originals, in my opinion. Just saying. But I feel like Microsoft needs to step up. Obviously, is there some mismanagement going on? Halo Infinite failed to meet its deadline this year to be a launch title for the Series X. A lot of you are waiting or have a Series X. I know a lot of you are still waiting for next gen, trying hard to get these next gen consoles. I hope the best. I hope you guys get one. I got a PS5. I'm waiting on Series X. I'm not ready to jump the gun on Series X. The one game I really wanted to play on Series X, Medium, got delayed anyway, so it's like, alright, whatever, I don't want. And backwards compatibility is important. I want to stress that. That is very important. It's very smart that Microsoft has done that. It has gotten into that. It's a very important key to their success, especially with Game Pass. But Sony has shown a dominant formula. They're the only ones to do it right now. A strong narrative-driven single-player games. They all kind of have a similar, I want to say, look for a lot of people because they're all third-person action games for the most part. Spider-Man, Days Gone, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Horizon. They're all third-person type games, where you see your character and there's some action going on. And they take you through a strong narrative in most of those games, very, very much so. And Nintendo is Nintendo. They're the only ones that could get away and refuse to adapt to modern times, and people just treat them as the secondary console, and that's what they want. That's what they want, 100%. Because they're probably the most dangerous to the two is Nintendo. They're a very innovative company. But obviously, they rely heavily on Mario and The Legend of Zelda, of course. Those are their money makers. They're not going to get rid of those guys. And those games will never be super strong narratively wise, even though I feel like a lot of the Zeldas are in their own way, like Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, these deeper, darker stories, where Breath of the Wild didn't have that for me. I liked some of what was there, but Microsoft, they're just kind of on the outside looking in right now. We got the title I forgot to mention, but the Game Awards title, what was announced, right? The initiative, the big, quadruple A company they put together with all this all-star talent, which is really true. If you look at the roster at the initiative, all the people working there, it's a lot of amazing people from like Red Dead and I think Naughty Dog and some other companies, maybe even Call of Duty. I don't remember. Correct me down below on that. But it's a really nice all-star cast, but instead of a new IP, it's Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is coming back, and a lot of people probably don't know it, probably don't remember what Perfect Dark is. It's the nostalgia, You know, nostalgia is always powerful. It's the same people that did the GoldenEye 007 game for N64 Rare. You know, that game was really good. And a lot of people don't remember Perfect Dark Zero, which was a launch game for Xbox 360. And I actually played that game quite a bit. And I thought it was pretty fun, but I didn't think it was super amazing or anything like that. It was just a fun launch title. So essentially, you can also spin it. Like, I want to be fair, you can also spin it and just essentially say, you know, Perfect Dark's kind of a new IP anyway. It's the new studio built in Santa Monica, California for Microsoft. They got all this nice all-star talent. So essentially, I guess it could be considered a new IP. I guess Fable as well, you know? Fable, Lionhead Studios not around anymore. Fable is making... Not Fable, Microsoft, the EA... Not EA, I'm sorry. The Forza Horizon guys. Playground Games, if I'm correct. Correct me down below if I'm wrong. Are making the new Fable, and we haven't seen anything. So essentially, that could be considered a new IP. Hellblade 2 was the first next-gen game announced for Series X, but we haven't seen it since, last year's Game Awards. Not the one that just happened, 2019 Game Awards. So where's that game been? What's going on with that? Is there mismanagement going on? I know this is really podcast worthy and, scramble the fellas along and talk about this, but I just wanted to discuss it with you guys right away and just think about it. I didn't want to sit on this. It's just, something I was thinking about because, Perfect Dark should have been like a huge announcement. And I think it was for a lot of people, but I just haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, just to be honest with you. And I'm just really been thinking, like, is it time? I had a great discussion with the boys. Shout out to the boys, the fellas, the super best friends, last night we were just talking in our PlayStation party. And it's like, when can we be more critical of Microsoft? When is the right time? A lot of you already are. A lot of you are very much so. And, video game development takes a long time now, guys. It's very expensive. A lot of money is involved. Takes a long time. Long time to make video games now. And Microsoft has like 26 studios now or something, or like 23 studios now. Like, when are they going to start hitting home runs? I don't think Sony helped them out at all, because a lot of Sony's games are critically acclaimed. They're making a lot of money. They're selling over 10 million copies. They're getting nominated for Game of the Year. They're winning Game of the Year. The last 4 years have been chock full of Sony exclusives, whether it's third-party exclusive or not, because one of them was Persona 5. In 2017 was nominated for Game of the Year, and that was a Sony exclusive. You only can play Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal on a PS4. Where, Strikers and some of the off... the side games, the spin-off games are going to be on multiple consoles like Switch and stuff like that. But topic for a different day. I'm sorry, it seems like I'm jumping around, but I just want to know what you guys... I know a lot of you are big Xbox fans that are subs here, and how do you guys feel? Like, if you got at Series X, what the hell would you play in right now? Assassin's Creed, nothing exclusive. Like Halo, your number one brand name, that is Microsoft's Mario, and they failed to see the flaws in that game until they showed it off, and then people complained about it on Twitter and everything. The internet. Of course, it's the internet that people are going to complain. But the criticism was valid. JJ and I did a live reaction to that when I was up in Wisconsin to see them, and it didn't look super amazing. It looked cool enough. It looked familiar enough. It looked like Halo, but when you compare to playing Spider-Man in 4K 60 frames with ray tracing now, it's like, damn, that looks way better than anything that Microsoft's putting out. Is it because they got to put it on multiple consoles? They got to put it on Series X, Series S, and original Xbox One, which is not original anymore, the slim Xbox One. Maybe so. I mean, that's the Cyberpunk's big problem, right? That's another newsworthy topic / pod topic is the Cyberpunk controversy that's going on, but I'm not going to drag that in here. I just want to talk about Microsoft because, again, this is an honest question. I don't want make it seem like I hate Microsoft or anything like that. I really, really like Microsoft a lot. I think they're an awesome company. They made some great acquisitions and some, lower tier acquisitions that could become greater acquisitions if they get the right funding and the right direction. But I think Halo is a telling sign. That game has been horribly mismanaged. That should have launched with your console. Damn, when you buy a Series X, the back of the box has Master Chief's face on it. They didn't have any launch title games that were new, quote unquote. They had high res versions of Gears 5 and Gears 4 and Master Chief Collection. Remember the Master Chief Collection when that came out was horrible. You could not find games online. It was very mismanaged. And we talked about on the pod before that Gears and Halo have to live on for the sake of living, with newer creators that are not the original creators, Bungie and Epic Games. It's newer, the Coalition and 343. Guys that are pressured to keep this legacy going, even though they probably don't really want to. They can't make a new IP. They got to keep making Halo and Gears and Halo and Gears, Halo and Gears, Halos and Gears. We all laugh at, Halo's, Gears, Forza, the top three, and Forza being the most critically acclaimed out of the three, which is crazy to say. No offense to Forza, because Forza is an excellent, excellent car simulator game. That team is incredible. Both teams. The Playground team that does the Horizon series one, where it's off-road and it's more arcadey, that is an incredible driving simulator. I'm just saying, as a fan of all video games, yes, I mostly play on my PS5 and Switch. Those are my two favorite companies, more Japanese-centric. Even though Sony's kind of coming more and more Western, even to a point where their headquarters is in California now. And I have problems with both those companies. I have a problem with Sony and Nintendo. I want to make it seem like all these three of these companies are not perfect. They all have some serious flaws, in my personal opinion. But what makes them great, they really rely on. And that for Sony, it's their first-party narrative-driven content. Nintendo is the portability, the 2-on-1 console / Mario and Zelda, and plus all the great characters are getting Smash Brothers, which I think will get Sephiroth sometime this week. It's my gut feeling. I'm saying Friday. There's gonna be I feel like there's gonna be a state of play pretty soon for Sony because the Game Awards was lackluster for a lot of you and myself. You guys, a lot of you watched it with me, so thank you so much. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but hey, there's thoughts in my head. I just want to know what you guys and gals think. Make sure you smash the hell of the like button. Comment down below. Tell me what you personally think. And definitely, if you're new, definitely sub and hit that notification bell. I'll be streaming later tonight. We're going to play some more Spider-Man. I fell asleep yesterday, so sorry about that. I'll be playing Spider-Man in an hour here, 8 p.m. Eastern. So on Twitch, not here on YouTube, but Twitch. But I appreciate all the love, guys and gals. Thank you so much. I hope it's a tough time for a lot of people. I hope everybody's getting by, and hopefully everybody's staying safe. But I've been your fellow Strassman, the GG. I'm outie.